All right. What's up, everybody? How's it going? We're going to get started in just a minute. Had to put some last minute notes together, but we finna get ready to rock this draft party on out. And I thank y'all for sticking with me, and we finna have a good time.
I've been scoping from the sideline, waiting for the right time to send the precious team to scrimmage. So I'm busting y'all. Welcome to we got this hit. We got this hit. Major city, so out your life. Don't worry about it. See, we got this hit. It's a brand new dance and it's about to go live. Tighten up, Nashville, rep the 615. First you tighten two steps, step to the right. Then you tighten two step to the left. Blue jerseys everywhere. Game face, yeah, we got it on. Sticking out our chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. It's about to get her up. Here come the train, y'all. Tennessee, tighten up. Let's get tightened up. Tighten up. Let's get tightened up. Sticking out my chest. You know it like it's King Kong. Sticking out my chest. You know it like it's King Kong. Tighten two steps to the right. Then you tighten two steps to the left. Sticking out my chest. You know it like it's King Kong. Sticking out my chest. You know it like it's King Kong. Third down, come around, we about to shut.
What's up, everybody? What's going on? Welcome into Blue Enforcer. We're going to have a really good time tonight, and we are going to have some fun and everything going on. So I'm glad everybody could join me and come on in as we celebrate draft weekend as it is. I see some people have come in here, you know. I had to kind of make out, I had to make sure everything was ready for everybody. So I'm glad everyone is here. Chris, Reggie B, Dennis, Derek. Yes, we tightened up for Alex, for our guy Alex Martinez. Definitely definitely rest in peace to our guy Alex Martinez. And we're gonna have a great time. We're gonna have a great show. We're just gonna review the draft, and we're going to have a good old time. And gotta put on some background. There we go. So as you can see the picks are underneath. As you can see, the picks are underneath right here, and we got some good picks to go over and everything with the draft. So let's go ahead and get right into it. As you can see, the Titans picked 6 players in this draft. And make sure y'all have some likes. Make sure y'all put the likes out on there. Make sure y'all share this show out to everybody, whether it be on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Put it out to let everybody know that the #1 Titan show on the planet is right here. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Ryan Tannehill, you are absolutely right. It is sad that the draft is over, but we got to enjoy 2.5 days of bliss, 2.5 days of football. And that is something that I don't think any of us are ever going to forget. So we're going to have some fun no matter what. And we are going to make sure football comes back. Football will return. That I assure you. I have no doubt in my mind football is gonna be here. And shout out to everybody watching also on Facebook on the TNT Enforcers page. If you haven't already been on there, make sure you come on down and get on that page as well for all the updates and contents and some of the craziness that happens on that page. So let's go ahead and get right into everything. And Jameson, what's up? Yeah, I got to give a shout out to my guy Alton Hood and Nimzilla Park for that great song, that two-tone tightened up two-step. That's how we definitely got to do this. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, we started off on day one. And we have Isaiah Wilson, offensive tackle from Georgia, a big 6'7", 350-pound monster. I mean, a Hulk of a man. Big dude, a big run blocking road grader offensive lineman. That's the kind of guy that he basically is. And, still got to do a little bit of work on the pass blocking end. But, we know we got Dennis Kelly. And, we signed him to a 3-year deal, but it's more like a 1-year deal because after this year, yeah, we might take a, $3 million dead cap space, but we could cut him if we want to go with Isaiah Wilson going forward. But I mean, great attitude. I love his attitude. The fact that he's just like, look, I want to beat people up. I want to take a man's will, things like that. That is what I call a real offensive lineman. That's exactly what they're supposed to do. You're supposed to just pound and pound and pound until the dirt until you can't no more. So I definitely like that. Day 2 was an amazing day. Now, before I go into day 2, yes, day 1, I was tripping. I was ticked off. I didn't like the pick at first, but I'm going to let the pick grow on me. I'm watching a little film on him, and you know what? Yeah, there's some things to work on, but you know what? He might become good. We're going to see. We're going to find out. And if he does, then you know what? After some time, I will personally come on this show and apologize to Isaiah Wilson. I will make sure that when I do the apology, I try to tweet him or I try to get to him so that he can hear that apology personally. I will make sure of that. Now, day 2 was an excellent day. Number 1, we get at draft pick number 61, we waited out and got Christian Fulton, cornerback from LSU. Big 6 foot, a nice 6 foot, 200-pound press cover corner from the national champion LSU Tigers. Now, many thought that he was going to go in round 1, somewhere in about the teens of round 1. And he really could have been a guy that we could have gotten in round 1, but we waited it out. I know there was that issue with the drug test and everything a couple of years ago that maybe kept people off, kept him off of people's boards. So we got a blessing in disguise by getting Christian Fulton at number 2, a good press cover corner. One stat that came out between when he faced off with Henry Ruggs, Jerry Jeudy, or T. Higgins, when he was targeted against him, he only allowed, out of 11 possible targets, only 3 catches. He took care of business against the better competition. So that's something that's really going to be able to help. He ran a 4.46 40, so he does have the closing speed to keep up with a speedy receiver. So I think we slick got a gem in Christian Fulton. And then we followed that up. With, at 93, running back Darrington Evans from Appalachian State. Now, I did not hear the name before maybe a couple of days ago. But then when I heard the name, man, this dude is fast. You talk about some more speed. Yes, indeed. Ran a 4.41 40 at the combine, and he's elusive. He ran for 1,480 yards, 18 touchdowns last year, and also caught 18 balls out of the backfield. So he could catch the ball out of the backfield as well. And he's definitely been a part of the return game. Every year that he played in college ball, he at least returned 1 kickoff for a touchdown. So we may have found our kickoff baby punt returner as well. So I definitely like Darrington Evans there in the 3rd round. Then we go to today, day 3. We had to wait until the 5th round. We were wondering if there were some possible draft picks still going to be there. At 174, we decided to go defensive line, and we started off with Laurel Murchison, big defensive tackle from North Carolina State. This was somebody that Coach Matt talked about on the OTP podcast on the Titans draft website. And, he's a guy, he's a high energy, high effort guy. 6'2", 297, right at 300 pounds. He's a guy that can come in and play 5 technique, maybe a 3-4 defensive end. Of course, we're going to be calling him Big Merch. Big Merch is definitely in the building. And, you know, a lot of people may talk bad about technique and everything like that. But if you really look at effort, anybody who has a high motor or has effort and just gives it on every play tends to end up being very successful. So I, you know, definitely like the pick. He might slip become a dark horse great pick for the Tennessee Titans. He could end up becoming a starter at some point in his career. Then in the round 7, the Titans decided to dip into the quarterback pool, and they decided to get big arm gunslinger Cole McDonald from Hawaii. I know that's going to have some people a little worried mentioning the word Hawaii, but I can guarantee you this guy got a cannon for an arm. He loves to go deep down the field. As long as we got Khalif Raymond, and I think we got another undrafted wide receiver, which I'll probably talk about in a little bit as well, that are some speed guys. So we may have a couple of speed guys already there. Definitely has to learn to maybe be under control with the gunslinging arm, but that is something that is definitely beneficial. And then last but not least, at pick 243, we go with defensive back Chris Jackson from Marshall, the Thundering Herd in the building. 6 foot, 186, could play in the slot. Maybe somebody that eventually could go to safety, maybe after Byard retires or Vaccaro ends up moving on or anything like that. Not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying, hey, if it happens in the future, then we definitely have a backup safety. That's something that I definitely like. Got some good jams going on. Got to have some good ones. But those are our draft picks. I think in the end, we had a very, very good draft. Not great as some other teams, but I think there's a lot of positives that can come out of this draft. So I kind of like the direction that we were going. Yeah, we didn't go for a speedy receiver in the draft, but we did get one off of free agency that I think is going to be very, very good going forward. So now that we've done that, I'm going to go ahead. Let's get some comments. Let's see your comments a little bit as far as what y'all are thinking of some of the picks. Let's see. I'm going to go back up a little bit. I know I saw some other ones that said, they said that, hey, we had a great draft. We might have found us our next Aaron Donald in Laurel Murchison. Hey, we hope so. Or maybe with Big Jeff. We definitely are hoping on that. Derek, let's see. We got James said, how about the job? How about that J-Rob working the draft board? He did work the draft board. He definitely did better. We definitely got a couple of nice sized corners. And Titan Mafia saying, did anyone know about the return in the trade for the 7th round pick? Yeah, we did trade one of our 7th round picks to the Kansas City Chiefs. We got back a 6th round pick for next year's draft. So we're gonna end up with a 1 or 2. We're gonna have 2 3rd-round picks. We'll have a 4th, 5th, 2 6th rounders, and a 7th. So we're getting a few picks stacked up a little bit, and maybe as the season go on, maybe we can stack up some more picks. So that was actually really good. I think day 3 was very good as well. Ryan Tanago saying that Murchison reminds him of Jarrell Casey. We're definitely going to find out because, we got Casey in the 3rd round, and the dude ended up becoming an all-pro. So, I definitely like what we did in this draft. Hooker being a backup safety, then we got 2. We got him, we got Crookshank, so we do have a couple of safeties. Let's see. James is saying, I read on Twitter giving Big Merch the Carl Klug comparison, and I will say this: if he's being compared to Carl Klug, that's a good thing. That's a very good thing because Carl Klug was nothing but a high energy, high motor guy. He gave his all on every single snap. And if Murchison is going to be like that, then I think we were blessed with a very good pick indeed. So I definitely like that. Now, Billy Scott comes into a question saying, do you feel more confident about Jadeveon Clowney? We're going to get into that in just a bit. we're definitely going to talk about Jadeveon Clowney. But now, what I want to know is, what are your grades on this entire draft period? That's the question. What do y'all think? Let's go with final grades on the draft. And I want to know what y'all think. Is it an A? Is it an A plus? A minus, B, C, F, D? I want to know what y'all think. What would be your final grade for the Tennessee Titans for this draft? And so I want to get y'all comments, what y'all think. I know a lot of people got a good draft and everything. Like Billy Scott's coming with an A minus. Ryan Tango B plus. AZ Mix says B. Isaac says B. Derek Roberts says A. Lando 50. I like that name. B plus. Joseph says B minus. My guy Alden Hood says A. Reggie saying A. Titans Mafia says B. So I definitely like that. Now, I do know my guy Daryl John was not particularly impressed with the draft class as it is. Kareem Rose says A+. So I definitely like those grades, so keep them coming. But my grade for this, and I know someone else on Facebook is saying A. Now, my grade on this is going to be, Nathan Forbes says A. Okay, I got you. Yeah, he says A. So my grade, I'm gonna go B plus. I'm gonna go B plus on this grade, and this is why. Now, obviously, the first pick of Isaiah Wilson kind of knocks it down a little bit, but then Christian Fulton and Darrington Evans, and that definitely helped build the grade back up. Kind of hated we didn't get Justin Bouquet or Neville Gallimore when we had the opportunity. Was hoping for Jordan Edwards. I know the Ravens stole Devin Duvernay right in front of us because I think we were going to draft Duvernay, and then the Raiders just decided to draft them in front of us. So, saw some of that. But then the 7th round, getting a quarterback, maybe not, from or even James Morgan, but we got a guy with a good arm, with a very good arm talent. So that's something, and we got another defensive back. So we definitely got some good picks. So that's why I give my final grade. It is going to be a B plus. That is my final. Grade. For this draft, a B plus. That is my final grade. But I definitely think we still had a very good draft, and I think some better things are coming in the future. Jameson says A minus. Money Cartel says B plus. I like getting Derrick Henry some more beef up front, and the LSU defensive back Christian Fulton, Christian Capone. We're talking about the draft. So we're definitely talking about the NFL draft. We're talking about what the Titans have done in this draft. My final grade is a B, B plus for this draft. Derek says the running back pick was a great pickup. Henry usually starts off slow, plus dude has receiving abilities. Yes, he did. So Daryl John, there you go. B minus. He said he moved up. Try to believe in J-Rob. Okay. Look, Daryl John, I know we've been doing some talking. We text off before the show, and I know you have your thoughts about that, but we gonna get there. J-Rob has good draft history. I do agree with that. So Christian Capone. I was hoping I said that right. Titans Mafia says I really like 2 and 3 picks. So the 2nd and 3rd round picks. So I like those 2. But now that we've given our grades for the Tennessee Titans, now we're going to talk a little bit more generally as far as the rest of the NFL. I know a lot of y'all, yes, are Tennessee Titans fans, but also know that y'all are football fans too. So in the end, I got to give who I think are my winners and losers from the entire weekend as far as a lot of other teams. So who do we think are some of the winners and losers? We're going to start with winners first. Derek Roberts says he a Belichickian. Yep. Belichickian is a language, and it is also a way of life. As much as I hate to say it, it really is. Let's see, Isaac says, I like Fulton, but was hoping for Gladney. Me too. I was too, but hey, I will go with Fulton because he was like, I want to say my third corner on the board. So absolutely that, or better trade back. Yeah, we could have traded back a little bit better, but hey, we got some good picks. So who are your winners in this draft? I see Alton coming with Baltimore. AZ Mix says Green Bay. Jalen Hurts to the Eagles. AM says Baltimore won this one. Billy Scott, Raiders are losers. Isaac says Raiders are losers. I think Monty Cartel saying Ravens are winners. Daryl John said winners are 49ers and Baltimore. Yeah, definitely got a few winners. Now, some of y'all have mentioned a couple of teams that I have picked as winners, but none of you have said the one team that I think is the biggest winner in this draft. And now I'm going to tell you, the biggest winner in this draft has got to be hands down the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings knocked this draft out. I mean, they tore this draft up from the floor up and did an absolutely fantastic job during this draft. I have got to give props to the Minnesota Vikings. Now, let me tell you some of the draft picks that they have in this draft. I mean, they slam dunked it. Absolutely. I mean, slam dunked it way better than Michael Jordan. And that's saying something. Here's some of the draft picks they had. They got Justin Jefferson, the wide receiver from LSU, and Jeff Gladney in the first round. Then turn around and get Ezra Cleveland in the second round, and then got Cam Dantzler in the third round, if I'm not mistaken. And so they also ended up getting defensive lineman from Baylor, James Lynch. And they also ended up picking up a quarterback, Nate Stanley, pass rusher Kenny Wildkeys from Michigan State. So they definitely did extremely well in this draft. So Vikings are a definite winner. I wanted Jeff Gladney badly. And, I was kind of liking Justin Jefferson too, but both of them went to the Vikings ahead of us. Derek Robinson, they took Fromm. No, the Bills took Jake Fromm. Fromm went to the Bills. Jacob Eason went to the Colts. So I'm good with those picks. Definitely. Another team that did well was indeed the Baltimore Ravens. They got Patrick Queen in the first round, a linebacker that they needed. They got J.K. Dobbins in round 2, stole Justin Mabuke from us. And then this is the pick that really kind of ticked me off with Baltimore, which told me that Baltimore wants revenge on us. They took Devin Duvernay out of Texas, the pick ahead of us in the third round. I think, honestly, if Baltimore hadn't picked Duvernay, we were going to pick him, I believe. I really do believe that we would have picked Duvernay if the Ravens had not jumped in front of us to do it. Titans Mafia says Denver. Now, Denver did a few good things as well. I mean, getting Jerry Jeudy, waited patiently and got Jerry Jeudy, then went and got KJ Hamler as well. So you're seeing Denver. They're trying to beat Kansas City. Now, let's see. And another team that was definitely a winner has to, and I know some of these fans are not gonna let us hear the end of it. The Dallas Cowboys. I don't know what Jerry Jones was doing on that yacht, but whatever it is, he needs to stay doing that for the NFC's sake. I mean, they have CeeDee, and I think they were more lucky than good. They were lucky. I mean, look at this. CeeDee Lamb falls in their lap in round 1. Trayvon Diggs and Neville Gallimore basically fall in their lap in round 2. And then they get Tyler Badaz from Wisconsin. They get Bradley Anai, the pass rusher from Utah. I mean, Dallas lucked up in major ways. So I was definitely impressed with what Dallas did. Let's see. A Facebook user says, can't stay. J-Rob, say how the draft's going to determine how aggressive we pursue Clowney. Looks like we're going to end up with him. And I would have to agree with that. So we're looking at some other, but those were my top 3 winners. Absolutely. Minnesota, Dallas, and Denver. The Ravens too. The Ravens were definitely a winner as well. Denver, I'm trying to pull up Denver's picks now and everything, but I definitely liked what Denver did, even though some others did not. They got Jerry Jeudy in round 1. They get KJ Hamler, another speedster. They got Lloyd Cushenberry, a lineman, offensive line, and Metelvin Agim, defensive lineman from Arkansas, who a lot of people talked a lot about. And then they ended up getting Derek Tuska from North Dakota State, who a lot of people were very high on in the Titans community. So I definitely like some of the stuff that they did. Now that you have winners, there are also losers in this draft. So we're going to take a look at some of the losers. Let's see, Billy Scott said, Chris, you keep saying it wrong. It's Dallas Cowgirls. Look, I got to be professional. I have to be professional. So, yes, they are the Cowgirls. We all know that. But I got to say the Dallas Cowboys for a professional reason. So, that's why I have to do that. But, when there's winners, there are losers in this draft as well. AM says the Titans were losers. I'm like, I don't know if I say that. Now, after night 1, at first I was thinking that. Now, after night 1, I did say the Titans were a loser. But I don't say that now after the whole gist of the draft. The Sporting News gave the Titans an A. I want to say an A minus. A. No, not A minus. An A for their draft. So, definitely like that. Derek Roberts says CeeDee Lamb snatched his phone from his girl. Yeah, that was kind of interesting. Now, some losers from the draft. I know one of my partners thought that the Eagles were losers, taking a bunch of receivers and not some pass rushers. Houston looked like a loser, even though they got Ross Blacklock and John Greenard, but they didn't have a whole bunch of picks to work with. Seattle basically have said they're moving on from Jadeveon Clowney. They decide to get Darrell Taylor in the 3rd round, defensive end from Tennessee, and they go with an inside linebacker, Jordan Brooks, who they probably could have gotten in round 2. So definitely they're losers. Houston is a loser. Also, Seattle, I think, is a loser. Another team that I thought was kind of a loser, the Chicago Bears, taking Cole Kmet. Then they get Jalen Johnson, a pretty decent tight end, but they didn't really get anything as far as impact. But we'll wait and see, and maybe I'm wrong on that. But the biggest loser of the night has to be the Green Bay Packers. And it is a very simple reason why. They draft Jordan Love in round 1, jumping ahead of us. They go from 30 to 26 just to draft a quarterback. They probably could have gotten at 30. But but the more important thing is, did they really need a quarterback? They got Aaron freaking Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers. They didn't need another quarterback. And yet they did it anyway. Pissed off a lot of Packer fans. And pissed off one Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is probably going to want out now. And I know some people thinking the 49ers could be a winner. Yeah, they got Trent Williams today. They got Trent Williams in a trade with the Washington Redskins, and also Marquise Goodwin, a wide receiver, goes to the Eagles, and they swapped 6-round picks. And what was crazy, I know some people was talking bad about the Eagles because they got Jalen Rager in round 1. They drafted Jalen Hurts first. Then they went and got another wide receiver in John Hightower, another wide receiver in Quez Watkins. They didn't really get a pass rusher to help their defense. So that's why a lot of people were mad at the Eagles. But the Green Bay Packers, to me, have to be the biggest loser in the draft. And what's up, King Isaac? How's it going? But I think the future could definitely be bright. Derek Roberts says, bye-bye Rodgers going to Chicago next year. I don't know about all that. Isaac Sabirian says, Sabrian says, not our best draft, not our worst. Feels like we could have done more moving around, especially what seemed to be a deep draft. I do agree with that. Now, I do agree that we could have done a little bit more moving around. We could have done a little bit more moving around. We could have done a little bit more trade work, trading and things like that. And, you know, we really could have done a little bit more than what we did, but I did like some of the stuff that we did. Absolutely. Isaac says, I think we still could have gotten some. I think we got some good value with Fulton and the DT in the 5th round. True. Yeah, I am with that. He said, Titans Mafia said, this draft was awesome when you compare it to Rustin Webster's drafts. Now, that I agree. I'm glad we got away from that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I didn't talk about the undrafted free agents, which I'm about to now. You know that's gonna be updated. And you know that's gonna be updated as the night goes on. But I can pull up who I think we already have. I didn't know where the music went, but I was like, I'm glad it's back. So I'm looking on Titans Wire right now to see who are our undrafted free agents that we definitely have. So far, let's see, we got some notable guys. We got Cameron Scarlett, a running back from Stanford, Aaron Brewer, a center from Texas State, Brandon Kemp, an offensive lineman from Valdosta State, Tier Tart, defensive tackle from Florida International, Kyle Williams, a wide receiver from Arizona State, Kobe Smith, defensive tackle from South Carolina, Tommy Hudson, a tight end from Arizona State, Kalen Curse Thomas, linebacker from Arizona State. So we definitely went to Arizona State and talked to one Mr. Herm Edwards. Let's see, Anthony McKinney, offensive tackle TCU, Cale Garrett, linebacker from Missouri, Tucker McCain, a kicker from Missouri, Mason Kinsey, wide receiver from Berry College, Christian Wilkerson, wide receiver from Southeast Missouri, or of course, that is John Robinson's alma mater. And from what I heard about this cat ran a 4.46, so he's pretty fast for a receiver, definitely productive. Obviously, you know, J-Rob has his love for his alma mater. So those are just a few of the undrafted free agents that we have. And you know that list is going to get updated. So not a bunch of notable names that I knew of, but hey, I think we had a solid draft. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible, in my honest opinion. Big old Titans says, keep up the good work. I appreciate that. Thank you for that. King, I said, I thought we were going to get more weapons. I did too. I actually thought we were going to get maybe a weapon or so, but I think that the running back out of Appalachian State would be a good weapon. Titan says, I'm not impressed. Titan, we gotta cheer you up, homie. We gotta cheer you up, you know. So we gotta get you in a better spirit, in a better mood, you know. So it's gonna be all right. So I can tell you. But we're definitely gonna keep going. Yeah, I think we should have took a wide receiver in the draft, but I like what we did overall in the draft. So now that we've gotten are we've done the recap, we've gotten our winners and losers of this draft. Now, before we get ready to end everything, we are on Clowney Watch now. Now it's back to Clowney Watch. And this is something that I think is going to be what we're going to be doing for the next 48 hours. Absolutely. Is the Clowney Watch. So, you know, a lot of people are talking about this now. Of course, Billy Scott coming in saying, hey, can't wait till Monday. Jadeveon is coming. Ryan Tannehill saying, I guess we still got we got the Clowney news to get excited about. Absolutely. Let's see. Dale McElroy says, I will be stoked with this draft with the combination of Clowney. So we're definitely going to find out what happens with this Clowney watch. Now, I know there was a question. I want to say Derek Roberts might have asked me as far as my percentage. I remember somebody asked me about that. With Clowney, here's my thing. I think it's a lock. I honestly do. I think it's a lock. I think we're getting Jadeveon Clowney, and there is no other team that can stop us from doing it. And this is why. Because obviously, the Seattle Seahawks went ahead and drafted a pass rusher in defensive end Darrell Taylor. The New York Jets drafted a pass rusher in Jabari Zuniga from Florida. So they also went with a pass rusher. Now, the only other team that I knew was in the running was the Cleveland Browns. And you know the Cleveland Browns are the type of team, they're always an off-season winner, but they're a regular season loser. But noticing that they picked a linebacker, but I believe he was more of a middle linebacker, and they got Jordan Elliott as well. So they might still be in the hunt, but honestly enough, I still think we're getting Jadeveon Clowney. I think it's a lock. I'm going 90%. I'm going 90%. I think we're getting Jadeveon Clowney, and we're waiting till 3:01 p.m. Monday afternoon. And once that happens, Jadeveon Clowney is free game. We could go ahead and say we're waiting on the physical. Let's make it official, because then we have the compensatory pick. So we ain't got to worry nothing about that. Ryan Tannehill says, I'm worried about the Browns, but still confident. I am not worried about the Browns. Remember, Jadeveon Clowney wanted to play for a winner, a contender. And he knows Mike Vrabel. Vrabel knows him. It's a perfect marriage. It is a perfect marriage, and it makes too much sense. Makes too much sense. I mean, and Titan even said it. I think low-key we already got him. I'm starting to think that too. Now, Derek Roberts is coming in saying, I'm worried about Indy sniffing around Clowney. This is the reason why I am not really worried about Indianapolis anymore. Now, even though Indianapolis had a decent draft and stole a few picks too from in front of us, because they're scared of us too. But one thing about this is, number one, they already got DeForest Buckner, one of their defensive ends, and they still got Justin Houston. In this draft, they went defensive line with Robert Windsor, and they mainly went offense. They're basically trying to build an offense to beat us. So that's something that they're doing to surround Phillip Rivers. But, you know, I don't think Jadeveon Clowney is the type of guy Chris Ballard's going to go after necessarily. I could be wrong, but I'm not worried about Indy. I'm really not. Now, I will say this, and Billy Scott came up with a very interesting thought. I will say this. If Jadeveon Clowney does officially come to the Tennessee Titans, if I'm not working, I will be doing probably a Facebook Live. I will probably do a show right then on Jadeveon Clowney. So that's something that I think will happen. So I'm definitely down for that. And yeah, I agree. Titans Mafia is absolutely right. Everyone that stole picks from us are afraid of us. And I agree. I definitely figured that out. Baltimore is afraid of us. Indy's afraid of us. Jacksonville is damn sure afraid of us because they go get CJ Henderson and then Kaylavon Chason strictly to go against us. I know that for a fact. Absolutely. Ryan Tanner, go on to the TNT Enforcers page. You go on there. That's where it is on Facebook. That's the official page on Facebook. And then also Titans and Truth, the actual page. I got to put stuff on there too. So that's where I really put a lot of content on there. But I am down for Jadeveon Clowney. We're all in. A lot of the media said, look, looks like we still got room for Clowney because we didn't get an edge rusher. And remember, Paul Kaharski said they're all in on Jadeveon Clowney. All in. So I think if we get Clowney, it would just be the icing on the cake. Plain and simple. So I absolutely enjoyed the draft. I had a lot of fun with it. It was just great to just talk about football, like just literally talking about nothing but football for the last couple of days. I mean, I was happy. You know, I appreciate everybody that watched both nights of coverage of the draft, and I just think we had a lot of fun. But don't worry, Titan. If I go live on Facebook on here, I go live. It's going to go on Facebook and YouTube. So it's going either way. You're not going to be able to get rid of me, y'all. You're not going to be able to get rid of me. So that's how that's going to go. Looking at a couple more comments, and then we're going to get ready to wrap things up right quick. Of course, Titan says hit that like button. Absolutely. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Make sure it goes out. Definitely do that. I appreciate everybody that does that as well. Billy Scott says, what kind of contract should we give him? I know he wants to go back into free agency. I would probably say like a 2-year deal. Maybe, if he wants to go to free agency, maybe, if he decides he wants out, then we have a way to get out of that contract. But I would say like a short-term 2-year deal with a way to opt out after one. I would say 2 years. I'm gonna say 2 years. I'm gonna say 2 years, $34 million. I'm gonna say 2 years, 34 and a half. That's what I'm looking at, because that'll be close to about 17 and a half, and that's what I'm thinking for Jadeveon Clowney, but a way to get out. Now, Lame 2 comes in and says, can Clowney stay healthy? That is a good question. However, that's why we got a lot more depth now. You got Clowney and Landry. Then you're going to have Beasley and Correa. And then you still got DeAndre Walker and Derek Roberson as well. So we got some depth at the pass rushing position. So, I mean, I think we definitely got a lot of pass rush depth now. Lando says if we get Clowney, draft's going to be an A+. I agree. Ryan Tango says it's gonna be a while after Clowney till we get sports. Hoping for the NBA. And the word is with the NBA, they're gonna try to start opening facilities back up on May 1st. Some facilities, not all. Let's see. AM says, which player we draft do you think will make the biggest impact right away? That is an excellent question. Who could make a biggest impact right away? I am going to first off say Christian Fulton. I think Fulton is, I think they're planning on getting him on the field right away. He's going to either be starting either with Butler or Jackson, or he's at least going to be the third corner. But Fulton's going to be on the field from day one. Absolutely. I think Laurel Murchison has a great opportunity to make a big impact as well. So That's something that I'm definitely thinking. Money Cartel says 2 year with a team option. That's what I'm thinking. Ryan Teddico says 2 year will work out both ways. 2 year will work out both ways. I agree. Because you can get 2 years and then say Clowney wants to stick with us, and then we got him for another year, and then we could try to re-sign him. If not, then hey, we can get out after 1 year. Titan says it was fun being here with y'all. Tighten up. Well, hey, Titan, I'll be here every Wednesday that I can come up with something because I know a lot of sports are not going to be going on now. So I'm going to try to come up with some things, and I think I'm going to have some new stuff coming around the way as well. I may come up with another show that I may do this week, maybe focusing more on Tennessee sports in general. So we maybe I'll come up with a show to talk about, NBA, talking about the Memphis Grizzlies, or maybe I try to dip into the college football world, talking about the Vols, talking about Vanderbilt, University of Memphis, or I'm sorry, the University of Memphis, along with maybe MTSU or UT. Maybe I'll talk about UT Chat a little bit, talk about Tennessee sports in general. So that might be something that we talk about. Titans Mafia says Clowney, Big Jeff, Beasley, Landry, Daquan, Evans, Brown, David Long, Butler, Dory. He loving all the guys on the team. So Jameson says all the teams that are scared of us will be shaking in their boots. I agree. Will be shaking in their cleats when Clowney decides. Yes, I agree with that. Facebook talking about what are the plans for David Long? Well, he's backing up. He's backing up. He's backing up Evans and Brown, and he did a excellent job standing in. I kind of, with the Kansas City game, if in the Kansas City game, they should have used him a little bit more if they knew that Rashaan Evans was hurting. But Monty Cartel said Lady DB. I'm like, I don't know who you're talking about with that one. Let's see. Isaac said use him as a 3-4 defensive end. That's probably for Murchison, but I think that's exactly what we're going to do. Pop and Go says, good stuff, TNT. Keep it up. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank y'all for that. Thank y'all for supporting me and everything. Daryl John said, no food. I ate earlier today. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. See, Titan says Evans is killing it, though, if he can stay healthy. I do agree with that. But, hey, y'all, we had a really good draft. Make sure y'all keep, of course, sharing. Tighten up for Alex, for our guy Alex Martinez. Join me on Wednesday. We're going to have another show basically talking draft, maybe seeing some developments after the draft. And we'll definitely come up with that. And then probably after the draft, I'm probably going to go on hiatus maybe for a few weeks to a month at the latest, trying to come up with some new things and stuff like that. But as long as there's some content to talk about, I'm going to be here each and every Wednesday night. And there is nowhere you need to be except right here on Titans and Truth. And we have fun. We talk about Pick My Brain with questions. We also have a blue bombshell and a blue bombshell question and moment. And hopefully I can get with my homegirl, my partner in crime, and see if we can do a Mika's moment. Maybe we do a Mika's moment and get her back on there. So I'm gonna definitely try to see if we could do that. But y'all always remember, Titans of Truth every Wednesday night, 6 p.m. right here on YouTube, and it'll be showing on Facebook Live as well. So y'all make sure y'all definitely tune in for that, and make sure y'all share this show out. And if you need to follow me, anywhere, give me a second. There you go. So y'all make sure that y'all come and make sure y'all come and follow. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so. And whenever the Clowney news comes out, I will be there to report it. So that much is a fact. Joseph says you can talk about the Preds. Hey, I include them too. I said Tennessee sports. I apologize. I forgot to mention them. But yes, I could definitely try to talk some Preds too. Um, Titan says facts. Facts. Gotcha. King Ike says, can't wait to bully O-lines. Me neither. So Ryan Tannehill said, look forward to the shows every week. Hey, I appreciate all of y'all. Billy Scott said, I'll see you Monday. With the good news, yeah, you probably will. You probably will. Isaac says, Clowney at times so we could get Landry, Beasley, Simmons, Jones, Clowney, Evans, and Brown in the front seven. That would be a major front seven. That would be a major front seven. But yeah, once the Clowney news comes out, I will go live as soon as I possibly can. Titan Mafia says, enjoyed all the draft coverage this weekend. Awesome job. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you to all of you for tuning in to Titans and Truth. But I'm going to get ready to call it a night. It's been cool. Y'all make sure y'all go follow on Facebook, on IG, and on Twitter. Thank y'all for tuning in, and y'all have a great rest of the night.